What's up? What's going on? Hide and read. Got a book review for you today. Been reading a lot of westerns, but what I haven't been reading is western nonfiction, which is not necessary, but once you read enough westerns, you might want to know what's going on in this fictional, semi-fictional historical universe of American Western literature, and a lot of this has to do with law enforcement on the frontier where there is no real law or justice, and how that gets delivered. And there's a common theme in westerns. There's many common themes in westerns, but uh, if you're not familiar with the genre, do yourself a favor. Don't think that, oh, all western genre is like this type of story, because inside of the genre there's murder mystery, there's crime like bank heists, there's romance, there's gunfighting, it's just, it goes on and on. So, and then even to the point where you have like John Carter of Mars is a Civil War soldier out west, hiding inside of a cave from Native Americans, and then he goes off into the John Carter of Mars series. So, Western genre is a lot bigger than a lot of people can imagine. It's bigger than I realize too, and I think that's one of the reasons why I keep pursuing this kind of stuff. Anyway, not on Mars, fighting Martians. Tom Clavin, Follow Me to Hell, McNally's Texas Rangers, all about just the formation basically of the Texas Rangers, and it had a lot to do more with Texas and the shaping of Texas than I was expecting. Uh, Nonetheless, very interesting. It kind of loosely followed the life story of probably like the founder of the Rangers. His name is McNally, and he was a smaller guy, Leander McNally. He is a smaller guy, uh, very sick all the time, unwell. I think he died at like the age of 32 or something close to this. So he wasn't like, he wasn't like a big John Wayne kind of guy. He's just a little dude, fast with the guns, and uh, always sick. And people looked up to him and they followed him. And uh, yeah, he must have been a pretty inspiring character. And otherwise, the book talks a lot about criminals. Actually, I think most of the book is about either the formation of Texas, or the crime, different kind of crime syndicates, and uh, even just kind of like political, just like very vaguely political criminal actions that were going on, because there's so many different people fighting it out in Texas and Mexico on that kind of no man's land, basically, where lots of different political organizations would like to own Texas, would like to own Mexico, but I think just because it's so far off from everything, it's kind of just who dares to put themselves in that position. Actually, at the end of, and you have different like guys with political backings, like from Spain or France and just different places. But actually, at the end of the book, there's an interesting character. I forget his name, but he starts off just like coming out west, and then acquires land, and then starts getting cattle. Uh, then he starts hiring men and kind of makes his own little militia group, and then they become like kind of like this like outlaw force in Texas. And they're not, it doesn't, doesn't they're not exactly outlaws, but it's more like they are the law, and because they're not like equipped for this. The way that they're enforcing things is like immoral. And but yeah, anyway, this guy had a ton of money and a lot of people working for him, and eventually after getting he gets arrested by McNally. I think it's one of McNally's last big like his last big showing, basically, was arresting this guy because nobody thought that it was possible. After he gets arrested, he turns it around, and he becomes like one of these law enforcement kind of guys. So that was pretty interesting to see, kind of like one of these Western novels come to life, where you have this larger than life bad guy, and then he gets humbled by this little sick man, basically, and then turns his whole life around for the better. So I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, maybe, and what's his last name? His last name is King Fisher is what they're calling him all the time. But he had like his own little land out there in Texas. And yeah, so I'll definitely be reading more Texas history. This was wildly exciting. I didn't even know I'd be interested in that. So yeah, uh, keep an eye out for more nonfiction. I'm gonna be reading a lot of American nonfiction for the rest of the year. So if you have any like American history favorites that you read, or even historical fiction, I'm into that too. So yeah, until next time, find somewhere to hide, find something to read. Peace.